Hey folks, it's Lacy with a quick plea before episode 2. Please start watching the pre-shows this season. We mentioned it a few times in episode 1, and if you haven't watched it before starting this episode, please stop and go to spacebearmedia.com or to our YouTube page and watch it. We really want you guys to watch these, and only a fraction of you do. We also really want to hear from you so you can be part of the pre-shows too. Send us a message at spacebearmedia.com/contact. It can be praise, hate, advice, corrections, or questions. Send us anything and we'll respond on one of the videos. Alrighty then. Now, season 3, episode 2. Hey there, it's Lacy J here to ask you to go to spacebearmedia.com right now to access all our content, buy yourself some merch, and most importantly, send us a message, the latter of which we'll reply to on our newly revamped weekly pre-shows, where we have as many fun segments as we do on the audio pod. There are current events with Christy, corrections and observations with Ben, and as always, questions with Derek. Plus, I have new fun facts and tell a terrible fucking joke every single week. Please join us, and please consider rating and reviewing us on your favorite app or recommending us to a friend who loves Lost. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's season 3, episode 2, The Glass Ballerina. It's a Sun and Jen episode, and it's a Ben episode, and we are happy to be back. Benjamin.
Yo.
Where'd we end up at the end of episode 1 in those power rankings?
Let's see. In the power rankings, we ended with Juliet in first place with 20 points.
I like that.
Second place is Kate, and third place is Sawyer.
Right. It's nice to see Sawyer in the top.
Yeah, it is, and it's rare. He has a tendency to do enough fell deeds that the things that he does that are good maybe balance him out. That and you guys, mounting him all the time kind of helps him in the power rankings, but
keeps him on top. Yeah.
I mean, we're only one episode in, though, so
that's true.
He's bound to come in and fuck it up.
Yeah, he'll probably by episode 3, he'll probably be dealing with weapons of mass destruction or something.
I'm liking this conversation because I know his character arc. Well, we'll just revisit Sawyer, I guess, later in this season. Oh, I'm so excited! We're in season 3. Anyways,
the bottom of the barrel.
Anywho, who was on the bottom, Ben?
We have got, Jack, actually. He is in last place. And then we have a tie for second to last place with Christian, Shepard, and Sarah. And then in third to last is Benjamin Linus.
Right. With -2, I remember. All right.
Actually, we don't even know his name is Benjamin Linus at this point, do we? His name is just Ben.
Yeah. We don't really know that it's Linus quite yet.
It doesn't. True. It's not like that's a huge giveaway. Like his last name is Linus.
Shit, you just ruined it for me. Great.
The other thing I think of Linus, I think of Buster in Arrested Development. He calls his penis his Linus.
Oh God, I love
he calls his what?
His dick. He calls it his Linus.
I thought you said penis. Okay.
Yeah, he calls his penis his Linus.
Okay. Hey, here we go. Season 3, episode 2, The Glass Ballerina. Ben, tell us all about Sun and Jin.
I will. We start in a flashback with a shot of a crystal ballerina. I guess it's glass ballerina spinning in the air with like flames behind it. It smashes to the floor in front of a fireplace. And we see a young Korean girl with a very, very scared look on her face. I say she's Korean because we know eventually,
that it's Sun.
Yeah. I could just say an Asian girl, but we'll just skip to, we see Sun there as a youth.
Okay.
The next scene, she's playing a piano and she's sitting in the middle of this really, really expensively decorated room. The door opens up and Mr. P walks into the room with what we think is the broken ballerina in a plastic bag. He drops it on the floor and asks Sun if she did it. Little scamp says no, and she blames the maid.
Hell yeah.
And Mr. P's like, well, if the maid did it, he's going to have to fire her. And asks Son again, did you do
Yeah,
it?
he gives her a chance. He gives her an out to like tell the truth, and uses the maid as like a pawn in the lesson.
She doesn't want his wrath.
Yeah, I guess not. But that's pretty cold. That's what she does.
Definite parallels later on in the episode of this with this little scene.
Right.
She hesitates for a sec. You could tell she's thinking it over, but she says the maid did it. To which Mr. P says, very well, and walks out of the room.
Like, damn.
Yeah. That brings us to day 69.
Hell yeah.
Giggity.
On the island.
Nice.
Yes.
Son is on the boat, like in the bathroom of the boat, washing her face. And Jin opens up the door, looks really concerned. She looks at him and says, it's okay. It's just morning sickness. And we pan out and we see the boat is sailing off the shore of the island with a signal fire burning on the beach. On the boat, Saeed is drawing a map. And I've got to say, his map drawing skills are pretty fucking amazing.
Yes.
You guys look at the
Way
map.
better than Ben
Yes.
Linus is.
Holy shit. It was like really, really artistically done. And I swear it's like there be monsters and shit like that. Like it is, I don't know.
Because he's a fisherman.
Well, how the fuck did he draw it? Does he have like a drone? Like, how does he even understand that point of view?
I
It
guess
doesn't
being
make
part
sense.
of, I guess there's cartography lessons as part of being in the Republican Guard. I don't know.
Oh,
but he
that's what
spends
we're
a
to
lot
believe.
of time on this map. Or they just handed it to the actor. Either way.
All right, well, whatever.
Jin and Son tell Saeed that they had lit that fire more than a day ago and Jack has not shown up and they want to get back to their beach. Saeed, in the first of many, many weird things that he says and does in this episode, says he thinks that Jack maybe cannot see the smoke because he's on the other side of the mountains. He suggests that they sail north and start another fire. Jin says no, and Son sort of gets. Then, no.
Did your dog just protest? Jin says no.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's great. All right, go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
And Son sort of interjects, and Jin starts to get a little rough with her. And he kind of puts his foot down and says they need to go back because he's the only one that can sail.
Oh yeah,
And
he thought he had
Yeah,
her,
the upper
right?
hand, yep.
Yeah,
But here he goes being husband of the year again.
Yeah, exactly.
right. He's trying to like dominate the situation, and it's like the fuck.
It's definitely feels like a little backsliding. Though
Yeah.
to his credit, you understand that like he's now trying to care for his wife and child, so he might be a bit
Right.
overzealous.
I think it changed just because she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, I can see that as an explanation. I would argue whether or not it's a justification.
Exactly.
Well, I
But,
mean, he
yeah.
also knows what the others are capable of. I mean, he was on a boat that they fucking blew up, kidnapping a
Yep.
kid. So
Yeah,
he knows
okay.
the danger of them being out there on that boat better than Saeed does and better than she does.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. All right. Keep us going, Ben.
Next, we're back in the cell with Jack and Juliet. She comes in with a bowl of soup. She says she made it.
No
probably got-
toothpicks.
Yeah, no toothpicks. It's just cantaloupe chunks with toothpicks in them in a chicken
Cantaloupe
broth.
soup
Cantaloupe
Oh
soup.
God.
Ew.
with grilled
Yes.
cheese and toothpicks.
Oh my God.
With grilled cheese croutons.
Yeah, there
She
you go.
asks Jack if he's feeling better. He doesn't answer. She leaves the cell and knocks on another door down the hall. Ben opens up the door, and you can see the room that he's in is like the was it the Pearl? Where there's a bunch of video monitors.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Ben says, "You never made soup for me."
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Ben.
At which point, another blonde-haired woman, played by the actress Paula Malcolmson, comes down the ladder. She tells Ben that
Paula
the
Malcolmson?
yeah,
Oh, is that the one? She's on Deadwood?
yeah, she plays Trixie in Deadwood.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep. I like her
She
more
was-
in Deadwood than I do on Lost. Just character-wise, not like...
Yeah, well,
her
there's not a whole lot of
performance.
depth to her character before she she takes a dirt
gets
nap.
it.
So
Yeah, that's
What?
true. But on Deadwood, she's like fucking great. Trixie's
yeah,
one
she's
of my
a
favorite
great
characters.
character.
Yeah.
She tells Ben that the Iraqi found the decoy village and that he has a sailboat. And Ben is obviously
row?
he's very surprised by the fact that they have a sailboat. He asks the woman how quickly she can put together a team. She says about an hour, and Ben says, then get started. Don't wait for me, whatever. And as she leaves, he says, and Colleen, I want that boat.
I want that boat.
Boy.
It's like Darth Vader, I want that ship.
I am your father.
And that brings us to the title card. Now we're back in a bear cage where Sawyer is getting breakfast, and he wakes Kate, who is in the other cage that Coral previously was in before his ill-fated escape attempt. Several of the others walk up and take Sawyer and Kate from their cages. The character Danny gives Sawyer a lunchbox and tells him that he's going to need to keep up his strength. They start to escort Sawyer and Kate at gunpoint when Colleen, the blonde lady, pulls Danny aside. You hear her say something about a boat, but the rest of the conversation is barely audible. He tells her to be careful and then gets a little rough with Sawyer when he notices Sawyer kind of, I don't know what he's doing there.
Checking her out?
He's
Or is he
checking
trying to
her out.
listen?
I think
I
he's
would
doing
say
both.
he's trying to listen,
Yeah, I think he's trying to listen.
probably,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
But
I think he's-
Danny's
being
a little bit
Sawyer,
of a Danny's a little bit of a hothead where it's kind
Yeah,
of
he
like
is.
just chill out, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Bro.
It's like, yeah. As we find out later in the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as Sawyer looks away and they continue on their way, you see Sawyer kind of pull off one of those grins like, aha, I got a bit of information. I know something. I'm up to no good. Back on the boat, Saeed is loading a rifle while Jin is sailing and keeps a lookout. Sun apologizes to Jin for disagreeing with him earlier in front of Saeed, but Jin in classic fashion retorts that she should not have disagreed with him at all.
Wow.
So.
See,
Yeah.
it's hard for him to stop being a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Let's take it down a notch, Jen.
And he asks why she came, and she says in so many words, basically, so that they can be together. Very, very well-placed flashback 2 finds Sun in a hotel bed with Asian Jeff Bezos.
What?
Is it Jay? Is that his name?
Yeah.
G
his
or
name's
J?
Jay.
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 She's got kind of a worried look on her face, and he asks what's wrong, and she says, I'm married.
Maybe you should have thought of that before your clothes fell off.
That's
Yeah,
right.
right. They start to kiss, and she says, I can't, which is funny because they obviously just did.
Yeah.
Jay offers Jeff Bezos. I'm just going to call him Jeff Bezos.
There you go. Call him Bezos. Yeah.
Bezos. That's his name is Bezos. Bezos offers her a pearl necklace, an actual pearl necklace.
You're
Just
going
like-
to kiss me. You're getting a pearl necklace.
She's like, I can't. Well, what about this? He's just trying things out now.
How did he pull that off so fast?
I know.
Just like that? Just right then and there, a pearl necklace?
I guess.
God.
Yeah, we don't know what was happening before she says I can't. There could have been
I
all
see.
kinds of weird shit going on before they cut to that scene. So
Oh, all right. That's just in our imagination.
yeah. Well, she says she can't accept the pearl necklace because Jin would ask where it came from. To which Bezos says, "Well, you can just wash it off."
Yeah, exactly. Just wash it.
Seriously,
You'll get crusty after
it's
a
not
while.
a tattoo for Christ's sake.
You know, there's like some woman viral on TikTok that like makes jewelry out of jizz.
Semen.
Yeah.
Ew.
Cool.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's cool. I wouldn't wear it.
I
but
mean, it's a
cool.
thing. I guess if you're going to do it like and be successful at it, then more power to you. Anyways.
Ew.
So Bezos switches to English and says, "I don't want to share you anymore."
Ooh.
He says that Sun's English is excellent and invites her to come to America with him. Then there is a knock at the door. The knock
Oh, no.
of impending doom at the door.
Yep.
This is so bad. This is so bad.
As Bezos gets up, the bellhop opens the door for Mr. P, who walks in looking more constipated than normal. Sun looks fucking horrified. Her eyes are bigger than ever, and Mr. P tells Sun to get dressed.
I don't want to miss actually talking about that scene just a little bit when her fucking dad walks in and she sits up in the bed and she's just kind of like mostly covered, looks as if she feels like she's naked. And like just to be caught, like even to use the word caught is terrible because like you're an adult and you should be able to do what you want and your father shouldn't be barging in and trying to control your sex life. So even, you know what I mean? Like it's just so fucking disturbing. And I don't know. The son's storyline a lot of the time just kind of makes me like sad and angry. And this is no exception. I don't know.
Mr. P is a real son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's gross. Anyways, go ahead, Ben.
Back on the island, Kate and Sawyer show up at a work site with the others. People are breaking rocks, and it looks like they're kind of leveling ground. What did you guys think when you saw this? What are they building? What do you think they're building?
No fucking idea.
I have no idea. I thought maybe just having them break rocks just
I know exactly what they're building, but when I watched it for the first time, I had no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't even know if I
remember.
I don't even know if I thought that they were building anything. I sort of thought it to me,
Like
I think
punishment or something.
Yeah, my first impression was just sort of like a labor camp for the sake of making them do
Breaking them down.
labor all day. Right. Like keep your prisoners exhausted or something like that is probably more what I thought. Yeah.
So Danny,
Why? What did you think, Ben?
I don't know. I was thinking, I always get the idea that when you're building something large, you're breaking rocks or things like that, it's either a road or like an airfield or something.
Oh, interesting guesses. Well, put a pin in that. We'll come back to it.
I've watched way too many things on like the War in the Pacific where they like land on an island or whatever, and it's like they're fighting over an airstrip 2,000 miles from anywhere.
All right, interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
So Danny says he brought Kate and Sawyer to break and haul rocks. Kate asks if she's supposed to wear the dress that Ben gave her while she works, and Danny says she can take it off if she wants.
Oh, I wish she would have.
Sawyer sort of grins at Kate,
Damn.
and then Kate stares like daggers back at him and sort of thinks the better of it and looks back at Danny and says, "How dare you?" Do you notice Danny's jeans?
Yeah,
He's wearing. They're like 90s girl jeans.
Mom jeans.
Oh, yeah.
They're like pleated.
Ugly.
They're
Like bugle boys.
Oh my God.
It's one of the worst like fashion choices on this show, I think. I don't understand.
That's got to be purposeful, right? They're just like, we got to make this guy look as unlikable and douchey as possible.
Okay, sure. So you give him like 1980s muscle man jeans, so he looks like a douche.
Exactly.
People
All
extra
right.
douchey.
So Danny pulls out a taser or stun gun, I'm not sure what it is, and tells him if they do anything he doesn't like, he's going to shock them.
Cool.
Kate says she won't work until she sees Jack. Danny walks forward kind of menacingly towards her, but then tases Sawyer, and Sawyer falls to the ground. Danny kind of taunts him before walking away. What do you think about that as a means of motivation?
Really at least get Kate some appropriate shoes. This is like a serious OSHA concern here.
Right.
Yeah.
What did I think about that interaction, though, Ben? What do you mean? Like
the way of like, I'm not going to hurt you. If you do something wrong, I'm going to hurt the person next to you.
Yeah, I mean that's where he starts that from the beginning. Like that's how they control people. Is looks like
Manipulation.
more than one other uses that tactic.
Yeah.
It's effective usually.
I would say,
Yeah.
I'd be a lot more reckless with my own life than I would
Exactly.
with Ben's.
It plays on people's empathy way more than, self-sacrifice becomes fatuous in that sort of environment where self-sacrifice actually becomes you facilitating pain or hurt in others. It's really fucked up. In flashback 3, Jin shows up to Mr. P's office. Mr. P tells Jin they have a problem and slides a dossier across the desk, which has a picture of Bezos on it.
This is some fucked up shit, man.
Yeah.
Oh, this whole sequence is too much.
When somebody hands you a dossier with somebody's picture in a show, that's never a good thing.
No, never.
No, whoever's
It's
in
never
that
like,
dossier,
hey, yeah.
they're about to get it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's never like, hey, could you go help this guy, or could you, replace his radiator or whatever? It's always like, you got to whack this motherfucker.
Yeah.
He tells Jin that the man has been stealing from him, and that Jin must put an end to it.
That's
Jin
sick.
asks him,
So son is like his property, is what he thinks.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Fuck you, dude. Jesus Christ.
Jin asks what he stole, and Mr. P says that's not important. Jin tells Mr. P that he will deliver a message, but Mr. P gets really irate and indicates he wants Jin to kill the man, that a message is not going to be enough.
Yeah.
Jin refuses and tells Mr. P essentially that he quits. And then Mr. P, this is a great manipulation, says he cannot quit. And he starts to basically cry, saying that this man, Bezos, has shamed him. He walks over to Jin, puts his hand on his shoulder, and says that because he married Son, Jin is his son. And he says, my shame is your shame. I need you to restore our family honor.
Gross.
Good
Which
God.
Jin reluctantly accepts the dossier. So the question, how does killing somebody restore your family honor?
Who the fuck knows? What the fuck is family honor anyways? It's all idiotic patriarchal traditions and it's nonsense.
Yep, it's all fucking stupid.
It's just fucking nonsense. What does that even mean?
That's the question. What does that mean? Restore our honor. So
no, it's I mean, because your
honor is big over there. So
what? Because your daughter decided that she wanted to have a relationship with the person that she wanted to have a relationship with. I mean, fuck it. That's between them. It's between her and Jin. It's none of your business. What are you doing? Fuck this guy.
She already did that. That got her into the issue.
Yeah,
that's why we have a problem.
I'm always mad during a Son episode.
I know. You're always like raging against the patriarchy during these episodes.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, especially like I don't know that much about Asian cultures, Korean culture, or anything like that. But
I don't know that this is.
It's definitely portrayed
true.
in this as being highly, highly like classist.
Well, I mean,
and
I've heard a lot of
patriarchal.
Asian cultures. Honor is a big thing.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, you
Huge.
do. Yeah, you do hear that, and I do, and I think that it's wrapped in the patriarchy. I don't think all Asian cultures like necessarily treat their daughters this way, but yes, because their cultures are more collective, like the collectivism is what they use. They're more. They relate more to the group. Where we come from, we relate more to the individual.
Oh, like in Japan, like 3 and 4 generations of family live together.
Yeah,
it's a different world, but. The honor thing, like the idea that your family's honor is tied somehow to your daughter's sexual activities, that's like patriarchal bullshit. That's what I'm talking about.
I guess they're like, people would look at her like, ooh, she's, a slut or whatever, and not look that on him.
It's not your business. It's not your business. It doesn't matter. It's weird.
The thing.
That's gross.
Is the way he says it, and he says it later in the episode, like, it's not my place to say anything about this. It's not about her. It's about everything is turned outward. It's not about what she did. It's that this guy took advantage, or that this guy, Bezos, whatever, fucked her. There's absolutely no like reflection within, like, Mr. P does not look at his daughter and say like, you made a mistake or whatever. It's all about you gotta whack this other guy. And it's a strange way of engaging that issue. It doesn't really make any sense to me.
It's strange. Instead of like talking to your daughter or minding your business, you decide to murder somebody. Yeah,
exactly.
Extreme
it's not constructive. I mean, it's really, really misguided.
I just can't even. I mean, I don't know what the fuck you're thinking. Like, you're just gonna murder this guy. This is the kind of control this man thinks that he has over his daughter. That's the shit that pisses me off. Like, just get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah. Back in the present, Jin is chopping heads off fish in the boat galley. Son calls him up and points to a dock off in the distance. Jin suspects that I think he just has others.
Yeah.
Saeed, looking through the binocular, says the dock is derelict and is obviously no longer in use. To which, when you actually see it, the dock is not derelict. Like, even when you see it through it looks like a totally normal dock.
Right. Yeah. Not like it's covered in dust and cobwebs.
Yeah.
Well, we
falling
find out
apart.
later he was lying. He was trying to pull off, the con because he wanted to light the fire or whatever. But yeah, it's pretty obvious. I guess if I'm hoping that Sun was on to him right at that point because if not, that's dumb.
Yeah, I mean, anybody with fucking eyes would be on to it. I suppose there's the language barrier there, but I always felt like Jin would look at it as like, derelict my ass. Like,
you think he knows
his first English is
is
derelict my ass.
That's funny.
Did you say lick my ass?
Derelict my balls.
Did you
Jin
say
is not
lick my ass?
unfamiliar with Botox.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, he's been around a lot of docks.
Oh my God. I thought you said Botox, and I was like, what?
What? Botox?
I'm so confused.
I heard the same thing.
Docs.
I heard Botox too, and I was trying to figure out like why was he been around Botox? Did I miss something?
I'm thinking of the actor. I'm like, really? Does he use
Really?
Botox? What the hell
I mean,
are you talking
he's got
about?
super high
Maybe,
cheeks.
yeah.
Why would he need Botox? Anyway, Jin is obviously unsure at this point and asks. He basically just says safe, and Saeed says, "Of course it is safe."
Yes.
Bullshit.
Liar.
Yeah, he's not a good liar.
Not really.
At the work site, Kate is smashing rocks while Sawyer delivers a load of rocks.
A load.
Now, I'm going to ask
on.
about the division of labor here. Why is she smashing
Kate
rocks
smashing,
and
yeah.
he's hauling those? Like
it doesn't make sense.
Danny, I got to tell you, Danny, you need some help with your delegation skills here, buddy.
Yep.
Well, Danny is a dumbass, but watching Kate swing the axe in the dress is kind of
Oh,
the
yeah,
point,
especially from the
I think.
backside.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
actually what the point
That's
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably exactly what it was. They're like, it'll look way better with her,
Yeah.
doing
Right.
that in a dress.
Exactly.
Yeah, the visuals are, yeah.
There you go.
Okay, I get it. Good job, Danny. He turns around to see Kate in her dress, bent over, smashing rocks.
Exactly.
Sawyer
there it
kind of
is.
leers for a few seconds when Danny yells at him to get back to work. Sawyer says, "Whatever you say, boss." Where Kate is working, Alex, Daniel's daughter, sneaks out of the bushes and asks Kate if she saw a young guy named Coral in the cages. Kate says no. Alex asks Kate where she got the dress. And then tells her that, well, it's actually mine. I think Kate says like she gave it to me, and Alex says, well, it's
Yeah.
mine, but you should keep it. It looks better on you.
I like that little exchange, actually.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah.
Alex kind of scampers away, and then Kate
Scampers.
tells.
She does scamper.
Scampers.
No,
does
you're
scamper.
right. She does scamper. That's great.
She's like. Then Kate tells Sawyer to stop staring at her ass. And Sawyer
yeah.
makes a wisecrack about that, which pisses Danny off again.
Fucking Danny.
Danny with the dad pants, or yeah, Danny's the new. He's the season 3. By the dock, Saeed is building the signal fire, while Jin walks up with a gas can. Sun asks what she can do, and Saeed asks her to help collect more wood so that they can build a big fire. You guys do know that a big fire does not mean big smoke.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming
It's the other way around.
Saeed knows that as well. Yeah, it's not the size of the fire. It's the materials that you put in it. One,
Right.
Yeah.
and it's also
Or
the
if
way
they're
that you start
dry
it
or
from.
wet. Yeah.
Dry
See,
or
wet's
wet, yeah.
better.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always better to be wet.
Hello.
Ooh.
I know somebody. I know a Shapiro who doesn't agree with you.
Ben Shapiro. Yeah. That's because he, well.
Oh,
that
that guy,
doesn't matter.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't want
Yeah.
to talk about
There's
him
a whole.
and that.
There's a whole other
Gross.
rabbit hole there.
It's all gross.
Real
Yep.
dry rabbit hole. Anywho,
Uh-oh.
Sun asks
Ooh.
Saeed why he is lying, and he says that he is pretty sure that their friends have been captured. And Saeed says that there were fresh tracks all over the dock, and he confesses he's using the fire to lay an
Every
ambush.
single one of these motherfuckers can recognize tracks in the
I know.
jungle and on the beach. Well, I mean, I
Yep.
guess in sand, but I feel like the others wouldn't be that obvious. But like all of them are trackers now, I guess.
Still need a cobbler, though.
Yeah,
I know.
right?
I know.
I don't know what's happening with these people that get their shit together.
Maybe
with
the
season
others
3.
have a cobbler.
I would hope so.
I mean, yeah, they might.
So Saeed says he thinks that they're going to send out a scout party and that when those scouts arrive, he will ambush them, capture 2, and kill the rest. Just that easy.
Sure.
Just that easy.
Well, it is Saeed. So.
Son asks why capture 2, and Saeed says, 1 to make the other cooperate.
Yeah, same game.
Right back to it. Yep. Saeed asks Son to keep lying for Jin for another 20 minutes until the fire is lit, and at which point he says, then we'll be basically past the point of no return. Now I've got a... This is where this whole episode kind of goes off the rails for me, is like this entire idea of like, okay, first of all, we're going to go build a big fire and we're going to ambush them and we're going to kill all of them but 2. There's 3 of them. Generally with an ambush, you want to have surprise and superior numbers.
And numbers.
And numbers. I mean, it you can have surprise. It helps to have surprise and superior numbers. But if you're going to capture 2, that means you're expecting more than 2. And there's only, it just doesn't make any sense. I think Saeed
What do they have, like 1 gun?
Yeah, 1 or 2 guns.
Yeah.
I think Saeed must secretly be in love with somebody behind the scenes because his ability to plan and tactical planning is just, it's gone again. Maybe Vincent went and dug up Shannon's body from the beach or something.
Oh, no.
He saw it and he's like, oh, he's back in love. And just,
yeah.
Lost his
He
way.
took it to that beach and it's like laying on the blanket and he goes there every night and continues their picnic.
It doesn't have to be somebody else. It's like literally days since
where
she
even
died.
is Vincent? That means Michael and Walt just fucking left Vincent on the island?
Left him with Shannon. Who knows since then?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we haven't really seen him again yet in season 3.
On to flashback 4. Son is at home serving dinner when Jin comes to the door. He asks her about her day. She says fine, but is obviously shaken. Jin says that Mr. P called him son for the first time today and that he wants him to deliver a message. Son.
Yeah, so he gets called son because he's going to murder somebody. Like, this is a dysfunctional relationship.
Absolutely.
Oh, a little bit.
Like,
yeah.
Slightly.
Real.
Yeah.
Slightly. A lot.
Yeah.
Son asks him if he's going to do it. He says he must. And Son pleads with him to go let's go away. Let's get away. Let's leave.
Right.
Jin gets angry and he says, I do this for us. This is what it takes to be married to you.
Ooh.
To which Son replies, and what does it take to be married to you? Jin obviously thought he was going to be able to eat, not have this bullshit conversation, so he walks to the door.
Yep.
You can't, can I just eat my fucking food in peace before we have this? I'm hungry.
God,
I gotta go kill
that's
somebody.
amazing.
I need my calories. Shit.
That's very Al Bundy of you.
They are
So he
both
walks-
very resentful of each other in this scene.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. It's this, again, this is dysfunctional relationship.
Yeah. So Jin storms towards the door, and when Son asks where he's going, he responds to deliver the message. Back at the
Good
beach,
God.
Saeed lights the signal fire, and Jin looks pissed. Jin asks Saeed for a gun, and Saeed asks why, and Jin says, with Son translating, he knows Saeed is lying, and that the fire is meant to lure others to an ambush, and that he understands English better than they think. He knows Son betrayed him. Saeed hands him the gun, and before he can have her ask, Jin cycles the action and obviously shows that he's comfortable handling it. It's funny there because Saeed says it's an automatic, which it's not an automatic. It's a semi-automatic.
Yeah, semi-automatic.
But, whatever. It would, if one of them had an automatic pistol, that would be pretty dope.
That would,
Yeah.
that would be.
Whoa.
It'd be a lot of easy killing to do.
No,
there.
it wouldn't. That would be so hard to fire. I can't even imagine.
Yeah,
Oh,
trying to
really?
it's
fire.
not accurate at all.
No, I mean it's just
Oh,
gonna
because of the
rise on
power?
you.
Yeah, your
you need to-
arm will be going,
It's just da 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 da.
I would
So
like
it
to
would
get
be
a Desert
fun for,
Eagle
like,
50 caliber,
wild-
though.
Okay, so it'd be fun for good, like wild, out of control shooting.
It would be
Gunfight, yeah.
It would be good if you want to shoot a lot of bullets into the fucking air, because that's what's going to happen until you're really used to it. You're going to fire your first shot, and then your second shot, and your third shot, and by the time you get to your fourth shot, you're going to be firing straight up into the sky, most likely,
Awesome.
because it's going to recoil just ta 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 ta. Yeah. So, back at the beach, Saeed asks Son to wait in the boat and tells her if the others survive the ambush that there is another gun in there, in the galley under a tarp. The son says, she won't need it because if the others survive the ambush, it means Jin is dead.
Whoa.
Oof.
I was like, well, use it on yourself then if you don't want to get taken captive. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if there's no reason to live because your husband's dead, then that might be the way to go. At the work site, Sawyer is playing kind of little baby games with Juliet, kind of eyeing her. After a few
Baby
glances, she smiles and throws him a canteen of water. He stares at her and pours the canteen out on the ground and then tosses it to her feet.
Oh my God, Sawyer.
So
High
baller.
games.
Awesome. When he turns, he sees Kate looking really, really worn out. You can tell
And
something
hot.
touches him here.
Mm-hmm.
String music comes in.
Yes.
He walks up to her, grabs her, and they start to kiss.
Lucky Sawyer.
It's hot too.
Yeah, it is
Dan-
pretty hot.
It
It's
is.
better
hot,
than the
yeah.
kiss when he was being tortured. Even.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. To which point, Danny, the reactionary that he is, grabs his AK-47 and starts
Yeah,
running
because
toward them.
obviously, if two people kiss, you should kill them.
You should. Yeah.
They're not
Or-
breaking rocks.
Yeah, they're not breaking
Oh,
rocks.
okay.
That's true. They do have a job.
Calm down, Danny.
He's
They
got a bit
stop
of a
kissing.
North Korea thing going on.
Yeah, seriously. So they stop kissing, and Sawyer grins just a little bit just before Danny bashes him in the back of the head with a gun. But before Danny can land a second blow, Sawyer goes down, rolls, comes back up, turns the tables, and wrests the gun out of Danny's possession.
Nice.
Man, I was rooting for Sawyer so much
Oh, I
here.
know.
Yeah.
I know. So Sawyer knocks another guy down, then gets a hold of the taser and tries to tase this older, kind of heavy-set guy. Clicks it. Nothing happens. The old guy punches him in the face. He goes down. I think what does he say? Oh, shit. Yeah. He
Yep.
says, oh, shit.
Yeah, they do drop a shit.
Yep.
Wait,
Once again, they drop a shit
They
right
drop
there.
Shit, yep.
I didn't mean
Shit his pants.
I didn't mean to drop a shit that way, but I meant the writers. Whoop.
Once again, Sawyer takes that one shot, but pops right back up with a rifle, holding off a bunch of people. He's kind of surrounded, and then you hear a female voice say, James. When the
James.
can pans over, you see Juliet holding Kate
James.
at gunpoint. She asks him twice to put the gun down. And eventually
It's interesting
he
that
does
she
it.
calls him James, right? Because now
Yep.
we're thinking, okay, wait, how much information do they have on everyone? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we knew that they knew his name was James because when they gave Michael the list,
Oh, that's
James
right. They
Ford
had
was
James
on the
on
list,
it,
and he was like,
Oh,
"I don't know
yeah.
who this is."
You're right, but now so now that we know like all of the information that they're collecting on Jack, now we imagine, oh, that's why they know James, right? Because they've
Right,
got it
but
on
at the
him,
same
too.
time, now Sawyer knows. Oh shit,
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
people know stuff.
Yeah, know
Yeah,
who I
yeah.
am. Which for him is probably really terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Danny walks up, spitting blood out from what looks like a broken nose, and tases Sawyer. Exactly. Back at the dock, it's nighttime. Saeed and Jin are waiting to spring their ambush in the fucking dark, no less.
Yeah.
With no light sources, no light collecting equipment, just gonna shoot into the fucking trees, I guess. That's Saeed's idea of an ambush. Sun is on the boat, and she's trying to light the stove, and then she hears the sound of people boarding the boat.
was she about to make some tea or something?
I think so.
Yeah.
I know. When
Yeah.
she goes out, and then the tea goes off. Oh, he's like, damn it. Never going to get an ambush with that teapot going off. So we see a shot of several people in boots stepping aboard the boat. She hears them. She grabs the gun from under the tarp. And then we see several more people kind of stalking onto the boat, all dressed
Ruh-roh.
in black. Yeah.
Yeah, not good.
This takes us to flashback 5, where Jin is in his car with a gun, waiting for Bezos to make an appearance.
This is some crazy fucking shit here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like what he does and how he doesn't even really realize who he's beating up or why. And
Yeah.
I think Well, let's get to it in a sec. Describe the scene, and then we'll talk a little more about it.
So he sees Bezos come through his rearview mirror, going into the hotel. He grabs his gun, exits the car. Next, comes out of the elevator. When Bezos is basically by the door, he turns and he sees Jin comes up and grabs him and slams his head against the door. And then basically takes his key card and takes him into the room. Once he gets into the room, the scene is amazing. Like the acting or whatever, I don't know if they're using stunt dummies or whatever, but the violence in the scene looked really, really awesome.
Yes, it did.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely well done.
It was nicely choreographed and very traumatic.
Yeah. Like once he gets in there, Jin throws him through a wall, smashes a vase, slams him through a glass table, and then just beats the living shit out of him, gets on top of him and just starts pummeling him. And he asks Bezos, "Do you know who I am? Do you know why I'm here?" To which Bezos says, "I'm sorry." Jin says, "So you do know. And so you know what I have to do." He puts a gun to Bezos' head. Bezos keeps saying, "I'm sorry."
Okay, so in this moment, does he think that Jin is talking about Sun and not her father?
Bezos, I think, is like apologizing to Jin. Like
to Jin, and Jin doesn't even really realize it.
Jin doesn't. I don't think Jin has any idea, but Bezos is like, "Oh fuck, that's Sun's husband."
Yeah. Right. And now he's gonna kill me. And yeah, that was my impression, is that it was like a mistaken or assumptions made about things. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but the kind of fury he goes after him with, it.
Holy shit! Yeah,
he's still taking it out. Like all of the awkwardness and the resentment or whatever that he's feeling with her, he's still directing into this, which is pretty cool. Like it's one of those pieces like, where there's one really crucial bit of information that one person doesn't know, and it completely changes the complexion of the scene.
Yeah.
So, he's threatening to kill him. Dude's just blubbering at this point. Instead of shooting him, Jin tells him to leave the country and to never return. He says that if he ever comes back, Jin will finish this.
So still Jin doesn't murder anyone for Mr. P.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Before leaving, Jin says, "You don't exist." And he walks back to his car. And when he gets into his car, all of a sudden, Bezos' body crashes onto the hood.
Just happened to park right under his window.
Yep. Jin gets out and sees a string of pearls in Bezos' hand.
So I very strongly question whether Bezos jumps or if Mr. P is like, I know that Jin doesn't have it in him to kill this guy, so I've got a backup guy. Because he didn't kill that previous guy.
Yeah, I got the dude in the dude in the white suit is up there, just tossed him.
There was a
off.
backup guy before.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but I don't think he jumped.
I don't think he'd kill himself.
That's what I remember thinking the first time through as well, is that there was the backup guy and he was tossed out the window.
Yeah. I don't know if we'd add that to one of the ongoing mysteries of the show, but that's definitely a curiosity I had as well.
I mean, we could, yeah.
Back at the dock, Saeed and Jin are still waiting, and Saeed says, "I don't think they're coming." On the boat, we still see more. Once again, we see actually the same scene. I think it's the same reel in reverse. It's like the same shot, just reversed. Colleen descends the ladder and walks into the belly of the ship. She sees the stove burner, just as she sees it, the Sun had lit it. Sun steps forward with a pistol on her. Sun asks Colleen to be let out of the boat, to which Colleen says no, and that it's not her decision to make. She can't let her go. Colleen says that 5 of her friends are above boards, and as she steps forward, Sun tells her that she's like, "Stop or I'll shoot." And then Colleen calls her by name, says, "No, you won't, Sun." I can't remember what her last name is, but says, "You won't kill me. You're not a killer, and we are not your enemy." Then you hear the others start the ship engine, and just as the ship engine starts, Colleen takes a step forward, and Sun fires.
Bang!
Hits her in the chest, in the midsection somewhere. She falls down.
Yeah, she shoots her in a place that's going to take a while to bleed out and die, basically.
Yeah.
That's a horrible wound.
Oh, yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah, seriously. Just as that happens, one of the others crouches down into the stairwell and points his pistol at Sun, She runs to the, I guess, to the front of the ship or the back of the ship. I don't really know. I think it's the front of the ship. And he starts to fire, does not hit her. Saeed and Jin hear the gunshots and start running back toward the dock. Looks like got around your brilliant ambush there. As they run down the dock, the others pop up out of the boat and start firing out of them. Both Jin and Saeed jump to cover. As the boat pulls away, Jin jumps into the water and starts swimming after it.
Yes, because you're going to catch a boat. Yes.
Oh, I love this scene. I mean, I get it. I get it, but
he's going to
come
kick
on, man.
his way to victory.
So as the boat's leaving, Sun pops out from where she was hiding and sneaks onto the railing where Mr. Friendly spots her, shoots, misses. She rolls off the boat, falls into the water. So Jin is swimming after her, screaming her name. Eventually, she responds, and they swim to each other and embrace.
After playing a little Marco Polo.
Yeah, exactly. And this brings us to the last flashback of the show. Sun is standing in a black dress at the funeral of Bezos. It's a really cool shot, too. Like the building behind her, the dress she's wearing and all that. It looks like it could be like a fashion ad, to be honest.
Yeah.
Her father walks up behind her and says that she shouldn't be there. He says that he's there because he does business with the man's father.
Wow.
Mr. P says that Bezos committed suicide and that his shame must have been great. Sun asks Mr. P if he's going to tell Jin about the affair, and he says, it's not my place to tell him.
Just my place to do everything else.
Right. It's not your place to tell him. You're just, what? What a weird place to draw the line, you
Yes.
fucking ass.
I
What are you
understand.
talking about?
The thing is I understand what he's saying.
Why?
He's saying that she
Explain it.
needs to tell him.
No, she's saying nobody says anything. This is what I was talking about earlier about how he cannot admit, the family honor thing is like she did something wrong, but in order to restore the honor, they can't do anything to her because they can admit she did something wrong, because then she would be dishonored in the eyes of everybody else.
Oh,
so they
yeah,
have to
so
they have to
he can't-
remove the source of dishonor, which is him. That's what I'm saying. Like it's a really fucked up way of thinking about it, but in a place where you're not going to sacrifice your own flesh and blood.
Good grief.
Even there, it's that's messed up.
Yeah, I'm getting angry again. Let's move on to the beach.
On the beach by the dock, Jin brings Sun a blanket and says he doesn't know what he would do without
Where
her.
did he get a blanket?
Probably from the boat.
From the derelict dock.
He may have took it with him. It's cold sitting there on ambush,
Right. It was probably on the boat.
Yeah.
The
I thought
sailboat would
maybe
have
there was
blankets.
a blanket factory next to the tarp farm.
I mean,
It's a
that's
brilliant plan. They lose their boat.
Yeah, to be fair, they were next. Weren't they close to that village anyway? No, it was a dock. I don't know. I don't know where they got the damn blanket.
No.
Props. They just went to props. And
Prop
got it.
department.
Tarps.
Yeah. Saeed apologizes in a half-assed way for dragging them into this little harebrained scheme and says that next time he will listen to Jin.
I doubt that.
Yeah, too little, too late.
We'll see.
Yeah.
At the bear cages, the others throw Sawyer into his cage, and Kate asks him why he did that. And he says, I couldn't help it. He just looks so damn cute swinging that pickaxe.
See? That's why.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why she was doing it.
It's the only thing that Danny did right.
Follows up with, the chain gang looks good on you, Freckles. He then sort of relays his assessment of the fighting skills of the others. He says 2 of them are good fighters. The heavy guy has a mean punch, and the tasers have safeties.
Whoops.
Just a FYI.
Right. You learned that.
Yeah.
He continues that most of the others have never seen any real action, but the blonde one, meaning Juliet, would have killed you, no doubt. How does he know what real action is? Was he in the war? Or was he in a war or something?
I think real action by a real fist fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the others
I don't
haven't
think he
seen
means
like
that.
fights and stuff.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was immediately like, man, these boys are,
Like,
I don't know. There's like a
been in
nom
his
thing
share
about
of
to
fist
happen.
fights.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
he basically assessed their fist fighting skills, and he's like,
Yeah.
that one throws a mean punch. The other 2, they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The blonde would have killed you. Whatever.
Yeah. True. Yeah. So Kate asks Juliet why she called him James. And he says, because that's my name. And Kate asks him, what's next? And Sawyer says that we're going to wait for them to make a mistake. And then the audio continues. He's still talking to her, but now we're in a room where we see Ben watching all this thing and listening to everything on television.
Oops.
And he says, and when they do make a mistake, we're going to put them in their place.
Put them in their place.
Wah,
Freckles.
wah. He's watching you.
So now we cut.
In this scene, Sawyer tells Kate that she tastes like strawberries.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then-
he does.
Ooh.
And then a little bit later, he calls her shortcake.
Yes.
Ah.
It's kind of
Yes.
She's
Always
like,
He
you say
tastes like
cantaloupe.
fish biscuits.
cute.
Oh, my God.
Now we go back to Jack in his underwater cell. Ben is standing there with a chair. He says, hello, Jack. He sets up the chair and sits down.
like Silence of the Lambs. Hello, Jack.
Hello,
Jack.
Clarice.
Hello, Clarice.
Nice Chianti and some fava beans.
Ben points out that the week before, he was Jack's prisoner. And then Ben admits that he lied, but he says if he hadn't, that he would have been tortured by Saeed and his fists. Jack
and his
asks-
what?
He says his
Fists?
fists.
Oh, Saeed and his fists. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jack asks Ben what he wants. Ben says he wants Jack to change his perspective. Ben introduces himself as Benjamin Linus
All right.
and says
now
that he
we
has
know.
lived on the island his entire life. Jack
What?
doesn't really respond.
What?
Say what?
You what?
So somebody wheels in a television on wheels like you used to get when you were going to watch a video and
Oh,
you
yeah, I
know,
love that in
in
school.
class.
When they wheeled it. Yeah. They wheel it in like, yes.
So, well, we had one of those little TV carts
Uh-huh.
when I was a kid. We were not allowed to have televisions in our bedrooms, but if we were
Oh.
homesick with the flu or something like that, then our mom would put a TV on the little TV cart and wheel it into our room. And then
I
we
never
would
had a
watch
TV in my bedroom. I never had a desire to.
Oh,
When I
did.
was younger, yeah, I had a little old black and white TV that only was like antenna and only picked up local channels. And I used to like to watch scary movies late at night.
I take that back. I had a TV in there, but that was for like my Nintendo and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't
yeah.
actually get TV.
Okay.
God,
So they wheel in this
13-inch.
television, and Jack asks about Kate and Sawyer. Ben tells Jack if he cooperates, they will send him home. And Jack asks if home is where Walt and Michael went. And Ben says, yes. Jack says, if you could leave, why are you still here? You are stuck here just like us. And then Ben's like, exactly right. Why would we still be here? Ben says that they have contact with the outside world, and he continues that in the last 69 days since they've been on this island, that George W. Bush was reelected, Christopher Reeves died, and the Red Sox won the series, to which Jack starts laughing
Yeah.
and says, if you're going to pick anyone to win the World Series, don't pick the Red Sox. I don't believe you. So then Ben describes the entire championship and then World Series. And when Jack still doesn't believe him, Ben turns on the TV and it plays the clip from the final at bat in the, it was the World Series.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was the World Series.
Yep.
And Jack gets up, stares at the screen in disbelief. Ben turns off the TV and says, that's home. And if you do what I tell you when the time comes, I will take you there.
How the hell did he get that?
End of episode.
What? Oh, that's a hell of an ending.
series too. Yeah.
Oh, that's a hell of an ending.
that was
What
really,
did you
really
s-
powerful.
Oh, so
Yeah.
good. What did
Yeah.
you say, Derek? That was a hell of a series.
Oh yeah, that actual the Red Sox coming back and beating the Yankees went down
Right.
3 games to 0 was awesome.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting that they happened to write like already the Red Sox into the show with Jack and his dad. You know, that's why the Red
Yeah.
Sox
Right.
never win the World Series. And then they actually did.
Yeah.
So related to that, this week's fun facts, we're going to chat about the curse of the Bambino.
All right.
It's a little baseball history and mythology. So the curse of the Bambino was a Major League Baseball sports curse that caused an 86-year championship drought of the Boston Red Sox between 1918 and 2004 when they won and Benjamin Linus showed Jack the video. The superstition was named after, of course, Babe Ruth, also known as the Bambino, who played for the Red Sox until he was sold to the New York Yankees in 1920. For some reason, they claim the curse starts in 1918, even though he was sold in 1920. It's just a fact you're going to have to deal with.
For $100,000.
Right, $100,000. So before the drought, the Red Sox had been among the most successful professional baseball franchises. They won 5 of the first 15 World Series titles, including the first in 1903, more than any other Major League Baseball team at the time. After Babe Ruth was sold, the once lackluster Yankees became one of North America's most dominant professional sports franchises, winning over twice as many World Series titles as any other Major League Baseball team. Over the years, the curse became a focal point of the Yankees-Red Sox rivalry. Red Sox fans did attempt various methods over the years to break the curse. Once they placed a Boston cap atop Mount Everest and then burned a Yankees camp at its base. Or a Yankees cap at its base camp, sorry. In 1976, a woman named Lori Cabot, who was the official witch of Massachusetts at the time, broke a 10-game losing streak with her spells, but was unable to lift the curse. Red Sox pitcher Bill Lee suggested that the Red Sox should exhume the body of Babe Ruth, transport it back to Fenway, and publicly apologize for trading him to the Yankees. No one ever took him up on that offer. So how was the curse actually broken? August 31st, 2004, a foul ball hit by Manny Ramirez flew into Section 9, Box 95, Row AA, and struck a 16-year-old boy's face, knocking out 2 of his teeth.
Ouch.
The boy's name was Lee Gavin. He'd been a Boston fan whose favorite player was Ramirez, and he just so happened to live on the Sudbury, Massachusetts farm once owned by Babe Ruth.
Shut the fuck up.
That same day, the Yankees suffered their worst loss in team history, a 22-0 clobbering at home against the Cleveland Indians. And then 2 months later, the Red Sox won the World Series. First, they met the Yankees in the playoffs and became the first franchise in history to win a 7-game series after losing the first 3 games.
Yeah.
Then they played the St. Louis Cardinals and won in a 4-game sweep.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember
the
that.
last out.
I remember watching every one of those games.
The last out of the entire series was Cardinals shortstop Edgar Renciera, who was wearing the jersey number 3, the same number as Babe Ruth.
What?
Bam!
Yeah, the Cubs had the curse of the Billy Goat for a lot of years until they finally won.
Oh wow, I've never really heard of that one, but when I started,
basically a Greek guy owned this restaurant and something they didn't let him. He used to bring his goat to the games, like in the 40s, and they stopped letting the goat in, and so he cursed them that day that you'll never win another World Series.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, I'm doing the research on this one, and it's kind of like, I don't know that I believe in curses, but damn, that's kind of convincing. The coincidences are
serious
when they built the new
yeah.
Yankee Stadium, someone buried in the concrete a Boston Red Sox jersey, and they spent $50,000 to jackhammer it out of there because they did not want that jersey.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, there's so much superstition in sports.
Well, that's great. The thing about coincidences. Sometimes they just happen.
They just, it's true. All right, so let's talk about some moments. Derek, what were your best and worst in this second episode of season 3?
The best moment is when Sawyer kisses Kate, not just for the kiss, but because to entice the others to attack, and he almost got the upper hand on him.
Okay.
I was really, like I said, I was really rooting for him, especially to kick Danny's ass.
Uh-huh.
And my worst moment is Mr. P wanting Jen to kill Bezos.
Okay, perfect.
That is way overboard for, the dishonor.
Yeah. My best moment is when Ben brings Jack the World Series and the whole just watching it and realizing that it was real. And there's so much symbolism there with him and his father. And then, for the character knowing there's a connection to home. Yeah, it's big moment. Worst moment, just the entire Saeed side quest. Like I don't even know what was happening there.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah, it was.
So, Christy, how about you?
My best moment and worst moment are the same. For some reason, the scene with the Red Sox winning the series makes me teary-eyed every single time. It's the best moment for the same reasons that you mentioned, but it's also kind of the worst moment because that's something that if Jack had been home, he would have been able to see.
Okay.
And being a baseball fan of a team that loses a lot most of the time, the idea of watching my team win the World Series and then the idea of fucking missing that, and then being shown just the fucking last at bat, just, I don't know.
My team has never won the World Series.
Your team has never won the World Series?
The Rangers. They came within one strike twice and lost.
Well, aren't those the guys the cheaters?
No, that's Houston.
No, that's Houston.
Astros.
Okay.
Beat the drum and all that crap. Yeah,
that's what it was. I mean, I knew it was Texas, whatever. So.
Ben, what are you doing with your moments over there?
I mean, it's basically the same. I'd say the kiss and then the ass kicking and all that was really good. But the most potent scene to me was that last scene. The shot of like his eyes and being able to see the reflection of what he's watching through the glass. The symbolism there of like the glass being this thing that you can't see, but it's separating you from reality. Like,
right.
Obviously not the most subtle symbolism, but really well done visually there. My least favorite scene was Jin trying to catch a goddamn boat, swimming after it. And then really just, again, Saeed's entire half-assed side quest.
What the fuck was that even about? It's like the frog side quest.
Yeah, it was. It was just a dumb. It was dumb.
It's just a dumb. It's just a dumb. Ben, why don't you keep going? Give us your characters and your fucking kill.
Yeah, top character is going to be Sawyer this week. I put Jin in second place, even though he did show a lot of kind of backsliding. Ultimately, he did stick to his guns. He didn't kill the guy. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Like he ultimately,
it's weird to get plus points for that, but I see your point.
But given the situation he was in, he could have very easily just been like, "Okay, I'm going to whack this guy. Nothing's going to happen to me." It seems like a line that he just won't cross. Yeah.
And right.
There is some intestinal fortitude there that he has despite all that. So third place, I'm going to put Ben Linus, even though he wasn't in it very much. The scene that he was in it was pretty friggin' amazing. And you didn't make me soup, that's good stuff. Worst was Danny and his awful jeans. Second worst was Saeed and his tactical fuckery. And third worst was Mr. P because, it is Mr. P. I'm going to fuck Sun. And I'm going to kill Saeed this episode because what a waste of time that was.
Wow, he doesn't get killed a lot.
No.
Gosh, that's
No.
All right. Who's next? Derek, what were your rankings?
My best was Sawyer. Just for him trying to overtake the others. Second was Jin. The same reason that Ben said is because he didn't actually kill Jeff Bezos and
Jeff Bezos,
whatever the hell his name is. And the third is Saeed. I don't know why I put him there. I guess I was trying to figure something out. But after hearing again about that side quest, he shouldn't be there. The worst is Danny. I just can't stand Danny.
Yeah.
Second is Mr. P, just because he's also POS. And then third is Ben.
Okay.
I still don't like him.
Yeah, so the Ben divide continues because I also have Sawyer as number one. He's killing it. That kiss was just everything. Oh, your fucking kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, go. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to fuck Sun, and I'm going to kill Mr. P.
Okay, I also have Sawyer as number one. That kiss was everything. The Ben divide continues because I have Benjamin Linus number two, mostly for the line, I promise I will take you home. It was intense, and it got me. I don't have a third best character. My worst characters, I have Danny, and next to it, I have asshole and dad jeans written down. But I guess we've decided they're like 80s muscle man jeans. Second and third, I have Sun and Mr. P. I think Sun, I don't appreciate her behavior in this, and her father just sucks, obviously, always. I am going to fuck Sawyer on a pile of fish biscuits. And I am going to kill Colleen because she just kind of annoys me in this. And I've seen her better, and I just don't like this character. Christy, that's you. What's next? Wait, Christy, you're next?
Yes, I'm next. So I also have Sawyer as my top.
Damn, Sawyer's killing it. It's up in season 3 so far.
I don't have anybody else in the top 3.
Wow.
So bottom 3, Mr. P, Ben, and Jin. And then I'm going to kill Mr. P, and I'm going to fuck Sun and Bezos.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
We're going to get a
right.
fucking cease and desist from Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
He's going to knock us off
Yes,
Amazon.
The guy just kind of looks like him. I mean, it's,
He does, yeah.
He's Asian
He does.
Bezos.
All righty, Benjamin, update us. We're 2 episodes in. What do our power rankings look like?
Sawyer is off to a roaring start. 32 points. His closest
He's
follower.
one? He's number 1?
He's number 1.
Wow.
Wow. That's
Wow.
Wow.
Good job, Sawyer. Wow. Juliet holding in second place, hasn't gained or lost any points, still at
Okay.
20. Same thing with Kate. She's still at 13.
Wow.
Bottom of the barrel is going to be Jack. Still hasn't lost any points, but still at negative 20. Second place
Damn.
behind him is Mr. Peck with negative 16. And Danny with negative 15 points with a broken nose and a dead girlfriend.
Danny and the dad jeans. We hate him. All right. Okay. What are your final impressions this episode? We're 2 episodes into season 3.
So I agree a lot with what you said about the whole Saeed side quest that was all just fucking stupid.
Mhm.
I don't really think that we needed this additional backstory of Jin and Sun. But I did agree. I did appreciate all of the stuff with, Sawyer and Kate and Jack and, all of the others.
So do you think though, like with this, as far as the backstory, I think we're getting it because we know she's pregnant and now we know that she was fucking Bezos. And so there's the question of like
that.
Right. Like, when did she get pregnant? How long was this going on? How recently? Yeah. So I think that's part of what that's about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'll just finish since I responded to yours. Not my favorite episode. The side quest was kind of annoying. I always get angry at the Sun and Jin episodes. I do see how it's forwarding the plot, I guess. But after a really, really strong opening, I don't like this episode as much.
Yeah.
Good stuff though in the last scene. I really, really loved that. Excellent scene with Ben and Jack. So it definitely redeemed itself. But other than that, I'm a meh. Ben, what about you?
Yeah, I think we've said most of it. I think seeing the sort of Sawyer, sort of his craftiness, and also being kind of sweet and all that. Like he's he did a lot to sort of make me like his character more in this episode because he was, he was whooping ass and he was taking names, but he was also like being very protective and affectionate. So that was nice. The last scene, obviously with the Red Sox on the TV and all that was really, really cool. The rest of it, I thought was pretty much a throwaway. I feel like it only exists to create additional tension down the road, like unresolved questions. Who's the father of the child? All that type of stuff. I think it probably could have been handled another way, and the pieces of this episode that were good could have been written into another episode, and we could have just done without a lot of that bullshit.
Yeah.
I honestly, I actually think that if they had just taken the end of this episode and then taken the pieces with Sawyer and Kate and injected that into the first episode and just made that like an hour and a half, probably would have been like an amazing first episode. And they could have just done without this one completely.
A letter? Do we need a letter?
No, it's probably a little late for that, but
okay. Alrighty. Derek, what do you think? End of episode 2 of season 3. We're a little bit into the story. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of this episode, because of the side quest and, the history of Sun and Jin. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't a fan. I did like that Sawyer's kick ass at trying to save Kate in that dress. Danny's a POS and he deserved to have his nose broken. And in the ending, with the World Series and all that, that was actually a really, really good scene, and we find out that Ben has been there his whole life. Say what?
Yeah.
So that last scene is where the biggest question is, how did the others get all of this information on the survivors, and how did they get a TV broadcast of the World Series?
Yeah.
Hey,
where's that coming from?
Yeah, those are great questions that will be explored, although not next week. What we will be doing next week is Lost in My 40s, Season 3, Episode 3. This one is called Further Instructions. It's a Locke episode. It's a Christy episode. And we're going to see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Lost in My 40s is a Spacebear Media production. Executive produced and edited by me, Lacy J. Sound engineering, editing, and original music by Benjamin Trimp. Like and follow Lost in My 40s on Facebook to interact with your hosts. Plus, follow Spacebear Media on YouTube to watch our episode pre-shows. You can also find us at Spacebear_media on Instagram and Twitter. Or come to our website, spacebearmedia.com.